everyone, I'm Holly. I am the maker and doer of all the things here at Missouri River Soap. In this video today, I'm packing orders. This is the pack and chat for our July release. I had a release on Thursday, July 10th. It is now Tuesday the 15th, and so we're packing up the orders. During the first part of the release, so from Thursday through Sunday, when you place your order, you can put in the notes section that you would like to see your order being packed on this pack and chat video. So that's what we're doing today. The first one is really large. So we're gonna head over to my product zone and we'll pick this order. All right, so I am going to pull this first order, and it's going to Cassidy in South Dakota. Thank you so much for your order, Cassidy. It is a very large, and we have two that we're going to combine. So I'm going to work on pulling the products. All right, I got it. Let's head over there to the tables and let's get this packed up. Okay, so I need to make sure that I mark everything off on this list. Let me make sure where it is. I don't think you can see any names. So let's see. I probably will just get this done and I'll come back to you. Alright, so the biggest box I have right now is an 11/8/6, and I probably am just going to pack two different boxes. Probably just be best overall. I'm using some of my bubble paper. I do love this stuff. It's been a wonderfully rainy morning, overnight too, in northwest Montana. We're so thankful because we need the rain, and we were 90 yesterday and now today we're like 55. So it's quite a refreshing change. We can use this fun paper. I have a variety pack of paper, so I've got lime green and this pretty watermelon pink and blue and some yellow. There's some orange in there. Alrighty then. So the first things I'm going to put in are the bath salts. So we have Mountain Huckleberry and the Cherry Hill, because I know that those will stand upright in the box very nicely. And then we have all of these scrubs. So with the last release, we had mango, coconut, peach, and the coconut lime verbena. All right, great. Those will, that did not help. I got a lot going on over here, so you just have to be patient with me. All right, I don't want that to fall on the floor. So let's put in, we have country honeysuckle and lemon rose water from the last release. We have a jitterbug. Let's see what we got going on. We'll go ahead and add in. Oh, I made a lot of scrubs this time. All right, we're gonna put in jitterbug, and then I had a pink only scrub of the watermelon from the last time. All right, very nice. Then we're going to put in some from this release. We have Cherry Hill and Honey Bear. So good. We have Moonberry and Peonies and Peaches. we have a mountain huckleberry from the last release. And then we have cranberry limeade and the new sugared watermelon from this release. Alright, well, are you going to fit in there, my friend? Yeah. Alright, so we have just a load of scrubs and everything in this one. So this order, both of the orders had route. So by splitting it up into the two and sending it as the two is probably the best option this time because it is a higher value order. Let's see, what else should I put in here? I was hoping this could, okay, that works. I was able to scoot that over. We have a lemon verbena room and linen spray, and I just need to tighten it up and wrap it up. Now, a note about the room sprays, and you might have been slightly alarmed if you got one recently in the packaging. It came with a hazmat sticker. Well, we asked the post office, what is the best way to send the room sprays? Because one, they're liquid, and two, my new base has a lower flash point. And they actually did not know. And they told us to call somebody else, and they said, or they never answered the phone, so that was fun. So, Pirate Ship, which I like to use, talks about sending perfumes and everything, and Chatty and I, that's what I call ChatGPT. So Chatty and I, we figured out that these just need to be marked as surface transportation only. We don't want it to go air because of the low flash point. So because of that, it does say hazmat. It is a very nice base with a very low flash point and some fragrance oils, which also have a flash point. So that's the purpose there. So I keep having to remember that I have to do it like that. And I've had to redo some of your labels because my past bases did not quite have the same situation. Alright. We're going to put in some soaps. We're going to put in let's do the lavender. Well, there's a lot here. Just trying to figure out the best way for this all to go in. I kind of want this to sit up like so. What else? What else? Tuck a little bit of shred in the nook and crannies. All right. We're gonna put in the jitterbug soap, and then let's put in the bonfire. Let's put in the lemon lavender and the regular lavender. I'm not sure if I showed that already. And we're going to put in the banana coconut cream unscented soap. Let's put in the blacktail and the glacier lily. These all kind of just will sit on top here. put in the lemon rose water in this mix as well. And the coconut lime verbena. Can I turn this and then fit more? It looks like we're kind of calling it there. That's a pretty full package. I wonder if I'm even going to get this in another one. Now I'm wondering, I have to run to town because we have a screw in the Jeep tire, and so I have to drive the Suburban, and I don't drive very often anymore. It's weird to drive around here. So I'm going to drive the Suburban. My husband has to drive the Jeep, and I'm just wondering if I should pick up a bigger box. I am just wondering if, we'll see. All right, let's just set this one to the side, and let's see how we can get it into the rest into another box. All right, I'm gonna go with another 1186, and my beautiful yellow makes me think of like banana candy or something, banana things. Oh, a banana cream pie. It used to be the thing I used to make before I discovered soap making. And now my kids are like, you make banana pies? Wow, that's cool. Of course, we found out my daughter's allergic to bananas, so we can't do that anymore. Anyway, all right, let's put soap in at the bottom. So I'm going to put in a huckleberry and a sugared watermelon. And let me tell you what, we trailed the mountains this weekend, and picking huckleberries is addictive. It's at the very beginning of the season. It's an epic season here. The plants are just loaded, but they have to be ripe. And even when they're purple, sometimes they need a little bit longer just to go ahead and get really plump. So we didn't pick a whole bunch, but we went a long ways away because we thought that was the best chance for huckleberries. And it was great picking. We did find some. But then on Sunday, so that was Saturday. So then on Sunday, we're like, we need to go just look around the mountains kind of around behind us. And let's just see, surely there's huckleberries here, right? So we hit the jackpot. And now all I want to do is go back to the mountains. They smell so good, the huckleberries. In the refrigerator, someone just opens the refrigerator and the whole area just smells amazing. I just can't get over it. So my huckleberry soap, I had just finished one in the bathroom, and now I have lavender, and I'm just like, will you just please hurry up? I need huckleberry back at my bathroom sink. I need huckleberry all the time, which I think I'm gonna make myself a huckleberry room and linen spray, because I am like all huckleberry all the time right now. So we're gonna put in the huckleberry again. Then we have Cherry Hill. And let me tell you what, my newest obsession is about to begin, because the cherries are all ready for purchase. This, you could pick if you want to. I'm not much of a go to an orchard and like pick things type of a person, but I will go and I will pay for those. And the orchard that we're planning on going to opens tomorrow to have cherries, flathead cherries. I'm very excited. It is the glory days of Montana. We're going to put in a peonies and peaches and a honey bear. I just love both of those. These are just so pretty. Also, I wanted to let you know, so I bought my white paper and it was completely the same supplier and everything, and it's different. It's so thin that and a little different texture, so it's almost like a vellum, which if you've been following me since the get-go, I used to wrap my soap in a sparkly vellum. Quite fun. All right. I feel like I'm talking more and packing less. It is, however, the pack and chat, so the whole point of it is to be chatting. And the last one I had so many requests, I feel like I kind of ran through them quite quickly. So we have bath bombs, cranberry limeade, and peonies and peaches. What am I doing? So I don't think that I'm going to have a cabin update tour on this video. I actually only filmed the last cabin tour right before I uploaded the pack and chat, so it was actually like 2 weeks after I had the release and stuff. So the window has kind of shortened. So now if I wait until maybe next week, maybe there'd be something to see. But let me tell you what, it has been an interesting month here. We started the process. So when I filmed the last cabin tour, my husband had just gotten back from a California work trip. And he fell hard to a head cold. So then we all are just like hoping and praying. Sugared watermelon bath bomb. We were hoping and praying that we didn't get it, but we all succumbed to it. And so he was gone for a week in California. Then he came home and infected us all. So we were all down for a week. And then we had one reasonable week, but super stressful week because we thought the HVAC guy was coming to do the work. My husband took a week off. That was the plan. They were going to work together, really knock it out in about a week. And every single day, oh, I'll be there, and then he doesn't show up. I'll be there, and they didn't show up. Did it every single day. And then Friday was the 4th of July. And so obviously not then either. So then I think we also expected him out the next Monday after the 4th of July. He still didn't show up. So again, very frustrating because we're on a time limit here. We need to get this thing going. We're going to put in a moonberry. And then my husband had to fly to Chicago. So then he was gone to Chicago for a week. So he only got home this past week, Friday. And so we just needed some time in the mountains. We needed a brain break. We picked him up at the airport around, well, he was late. So it was like 12:30. And we both thought we would just come home and work. I would start getting ready to pack orders and stuff. And then our brains were just like, do not compute, cannot function. So we lollygagged for most of the weekend because our brains just needed it. And so yesterday, the guy did actually show up. Guess he's not here today. Too much to ask. Alright, so now, those are all the hexagon. So now I want to put in these other bath bombs, and I really don't think I still have enough room. So we're going to put in a Mountain Huckleberry Bear bath bomb, Cherry Hill, and Honey Bear. All adorable, super duper cute. And I had also planned on making more bath bombs this weekend. But as it turns out, hold please. Anyway, as it turned out, they started talking about this massive rain that was going to happen here. It hasn't happened since 1986. And I was like, after all these bath bombs reacted to the rain, right after I made them the last time, I was like, I think not. It is just best to wait. We might do it. We'll see. We might get this done. These bath bombs are really hard, but I do still like to wrap them. I feel the most comfortable with it. Alright, so now we're down to wax melts, and I really hope these will all fit because it would be kind of funny to have to do another package just for I make it. Let's make it work. Put a little bit of shred there. So the point is, not a lot has happened in the cabin. My husband has been running plumbing. They've been prepping for the HVAC. My son is putting up insulation and tongue and groove, and it's all great and good. There's just not a lot of dramatic things to see, so I thought maybe we'd just wait. And then next month, hopefully it's a lot more dramatic. So we're going to put in, we have some fruity ones here. These are wax melts, and these are pistachio cream and lemon curd. I don't actually want it on top. Yeah, that's fine still. We have a strawberry pound cake and peach nectar. Very good. Confetti blossom and sugared watermelon. I had a little poppy seed on there for this one. Let's see. Let's put those down like so. And then we have 2 of the Cherry Bears, Cherry Hill bears. Oh. And then we have Honey Bear and Mountain Huckleberry. We made it. But I do need to tuck in some samples. Alright, let's put in a stargazing and a pear of mascarpone. That's a new sample that I got. I love it so much. It's amazing. Okay, we'll tuck that other one in there. We're going to put the Honey Bear and the Huckleberry like so. I'm going to put in a stargazing. I don't know if I said it already. I'm pretty sure I did. Isn't that nice? Working wonderfully. We're going to put in a wild mint and a creme of cacao soap sample. And then this one is ready to go to Cassidy. This is really exciting. Thank you for this massive order. It was very, very exciting to see them come in, and I appreciate it so much. You know I love orders all sizes. They all make me happy. I always do a little dance, a little, yes, thank you so much. I love it. I just realized that my Huckleberry stickers came in, and they're still in the Jeep, so I'm going to go get one. Alright, so I went and got my little sticker. Isn't it just so cute? I love it so much. So we're going to put in the packing list, and I did go ahead and print off 2 copies each and put a check mark on what is in this box and then what's in the other box, so that we're all fully aware of what's in each package. So we're going to put in, oh, he's so cute, cute little sticker. And then we are off to South Dakota. Let's go the other way. I have a couple of new cuties from Jody at Gording Around, and I wanted to show them to you because I love gnomes. And look how cute this one turned out. We've got some cutesy shoes. This was from a donut, Coffees and Donuts, I think, type release. So it has some donuts, and oh, isn't it adorable? I love these so much. And then this one, this is Noe's riding a crow. How cute is that? I love it so very much. I have so many of these. I've been friends with Jody for a very, very long time. She started as a customer, and then I became her customer, and now we're just good friends. But I have so many of them packed away, and I can't wait to figure out how I'm going to display them in the new house. But I also have this. We've got a little rose, so I have like a whole vase worth of fun things. And we did a rainbow rose collaboration a long time ago. That was super fun. And then I have this unicorn. It's been over here for a while, but look at the details. Hopefully I haven't splattered soap on it, but look at the detail. You get to just look at them for so long and just see something new. I love it. Thank you, Jody. You're just the best. You can find Jody on Facebook. Go to Gording Around and then ask to be in the group. She does all her sales via the Facebook group. And so she has releases every now and again, and she'll put them up and you comment like, I would like that one, please. And then she will send you an invoice and everything. They're just super fun, and you are going to want to be following when the fall and holiday goodies come up. So make sure that you head over to Facebook, to the Gording Around, and ask to be in the group. And if there's a questionnaire, tell Jody that I sent you. So this order is going to Paige in Washington. Thank you so much for your order, Paige. I have chosen this very bright, beautiful, liney paper for this order. We're going to put in a Mountain Huckleberry whipped soap scrub. I love these whipped soap scrubs. They are like a 3-in-1 product. So it's made with a soap base that foams and suds and everything, but we also add sugar for exfoliation, and then it has some additional oils, jojoba and apricot, that adds a little bit of a moisture barrier. They're such a wonderful product. I love them so very much. We're going in with a country honeysuckle and a cranberry limeade. Now both of these are gone wonkies, and there's a description in the listing. Gone wonky just means the colors didn't turn out quite as I wanted them. Maybe they have glycerin rivers. Maybe there's just a few air holes here and there. They just weren't quite up to my standards. So both of these are gone wonky. This one does have a gone wonky label. I did not put them on all of those ones, but it's just a little reduced price because they didn't quite turn out. So they're not like full price quality. They're battery exhausted already. This camera's getting old like me. Alright, back to it. We're going to put in a cranberry limeade and a moonberry bath bomb. Now these moonberry bath bombs, the picture on the website is a little bit more purple than it is, and I do believe I put a note there. But the inside has a purple sphere, so that one is super fun. And then this is just a dual colored getup. So I will admit my order packing has not quite gone as I planned today. I came out a little bit later because I was just like, I don't have that many to do, and I'll just edit a video. So I was editing a sea salt soap video, and I came out about 11, and it took me a good 3.5 hours out here, 2.5 I guess, to just get organized. I cleaned up a few more soap samples, and I had a whole bunch of orders came in, so I put all those away so that I could actually pull the products for Cassidy's. Oh goodness. And now I was thinking we were gonna go to town at like 4:30 or something, and now we have to go at 3:30 to get the tire fixed. So I guess I won't be getting these all done today after all. I just didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. Alright, did we get it all in? I think so. Such an awesome little order. I love this 864 box. It is one of my favorite boxes. Alright, we're going to put in a couple of soap samples. I don't really have bath bomb samples or scrub samples. They're not quite as easy to generate as a soap sample and a wax melt sample. We're going to put in the peonies and peaches. I just realized this camera is a little funky. We're going to put in the peonies and peaches and banana coconut cream soap. Then we're going to put in the invoice, and because we have a Huckleberry product, we are going to put that in. So a little statement about the Huckleberry Bear stickers. I did run out at my last pack and chat. So if you have ordered since then a Huckleberry product and you didn't get a sticker and you really want a sticker, send me a message and I will drop one in the mail for you. I know I need to send one to Emily in Washington, so I have a note for that one. But like yesterday, I packed up all my orders and I did not have them yet. But not everybody loves stickers, so if you want a sticker, you just let me know and I will send you one. But that's if you bought a Huckleberry product. I will double check that. Alright, so this order is going to Lindsay in Texas. Thank you so much for your order, Lindsay. And I know that cranberry and limeade is one of Lindsay's favorites. So we're very limey here. Going to put in a cranberry limeade scrub. This has got to be one of my favorites. I love how the colors came out. They didn't blend up too much. So pretty. Then we have 2 of the cranberry limeade soaps. So good. So good. We have a sugared watermelon. Super pleased with this watermelon scent. Super duper. And we have a Cherry Hill and a Honey Bear. A really fun, fruity collection. Just kind of adds to some of the other products that we have. We sell a lot of scrubs, you know, like honeysuckle, lemon rose water, wisteria, and we still have Trailhead and Glacier Lily and Bonfire. We have unscented soaps, banana coconut cream, and crema cacao. We just have a lot going on, and so I brought these new fruity ones on to kind of add to, complete the picture. I was doing an inventory the other day and color me shocked. I had no idea that once I had all these orders packed, I still have like 800 soaps in stock, ready to go, like in the store for sale. I have like 75 scrubs, and oh my goodness, I was a little shocked that it had built up that much. Now granted, I didn't sell too many soaps this time. Like I make a 68 bar batch and I sold only like 9 of like Honey Bear and Cherry Hill. What was the other one that only sold about 9? I'm sitting here looking at, oh, the peonies and peaches. These are amazing scents. But I still have coconut lime verbena. I still have not honeysuckle, but huckleberry. Got a lot of good stuff. A lot of lemon rose water soap. So I have a curing rack here. They're not all over on my shelf. I have a curing rack which is holding most of the bars of soap because I just haven't wrapped them all as of yet. We're going to put in the peonies and peaches sample and a coconut lime verbena. And then this one's going to be ready to head off to Texas. Alright, it's a new day and I am back to pack these orders. I feel like I've lived a lot of life since I was here just yesterday afternoon. So this order is going to Michelle in Wisconsin. Thank you so much for your order, Michelle. And Michelle has been with me for a very long time and loves cranberry limeade too. So we're going to put in a cranberry limeade scrub. We have a few of the scrubs actually. We're going to put in sugared watermelon and Cherry Hill. This is a 965 box, so 3 will just fit all along there. And then we have a milk bath, so I want to put that down in here. So we have the Honey Bear milk bath. Let's see. I think I usually like to put them on his side. Get a little shred there and protect his little nosy. And then what do we have? We have a lot of yummy things still coming up here. Let's tuck in a little extra shred, kind of level things off a bit here. So we're going to put in a Honey Bear soap and a Cranberry Limeade soap. Let's see. We'll just go like that. Put the soap up here. And then we have a sugared watermelon wax melt. This is from the newest batch. The colors will vary slightly. And then Moonberry. I love this one. It's so pretty. Love these both so much. And now that I'm starting to make plans for fall, not starting to, but trying to finalize my fall plans, I have been thinking a lot about wax melts, shapes, and wondering, do I have that mold with me here in Montana? I don't know. I'd like to pull out some of my older molds. I'm not quite sure where they are, so I'm gonna have to go into the upside down of the cabin and see if they're in my tubs, but we have found that I have left a tub or two in the storage unit in Missouri, so I don't have all of my stuff here. We're going to put in a Peonies and Peaches sample. Michelle did ask for a sample of that one, and I am using that at my kitchen sink right now, and it's just blowing us all away. And I'm going to put in a pear mascarpone. I always do mascarpone, but it's mascarpone. And I'm pretty sure that the sample that I put in one of the orders yesterday, I did not put the R in it at all. So that is definitely going to be misspelled. I love that wax melt. It smells so amazing. And then this order is going to be off to Wisconsin, and it's a new day, which means we're waiting for the HVAC guy that has not shown up, and it's nearly 11 o'clock, so that's fun. It's so much fun. I don't know how people make a living. We were talking to the lady at the coffee joint, and she said that she waited for a plumber for 4 different days. That, you know, appointments just came and went. How do they make a living just being so bad at it? Alright, so this order is going to Ken in Massachusetts. Thank you so much for your order, Ken. And with our last release, Ken also ordered and filmed a unboxing. So I'll put a link to that down below. Something very loud is going over. It kind of looked like Two Bear Air. It was a helicopter. Two Bear Air here is a rescue helicopter. They go after a lot of people in Glacier National Park, actually. Alright, so we're going to put in a couple of tallow soaps. Now these ones really didn't turn out to be very lovely in the green department. And they veered a bit more yellow than I would have liked. I tried using this word does not want to come out of my mouth. Spirulina powder, and it kind of turned more brown than I expected it to. So I do have these two on sale right now just because they weren't ideal in my opinion. So we're going to tuck those in. We have sugared watermelon and cranberry limeade. We have a bar of Cherry Hill, which, ooh, today is opening day for the cherry people. Woohoo! It was very exciting. And then we have a green clover and aloe room and linen spray. Again, always like to tighten it up. And then I wrap it up in a little piece of bubble paper because it's absorbent if there were to be any leaks. And then wrap it up in this bag. So we're just gonna put that right in there. Looking good. And then we have a wax melt still. So we're going to put in a jitterbug. So good. And then I cannot remember if I put in a fireside s'more, possibly with the last order. But we're going to put in a fireside s'more and a lemon, I got butterfingers today, a lemon pound cake wax melt sample. I add new scents into the wax melt listing all the time, so make sure you check that out if you love wax melts. We have quite the selection. And then I'm going to put in a honey bear soap. And I think Ken, if he has time, is planning on doing another unboxing, so that will be fun. Ken did not do well with my Glacier Lily scent. They really caused him and his daughter both caused them some problems with its scent, so I guess it's a potent scent. I could see that because we were using a bar after I heard from Ken, and I could see how it's a bit of a stronger scent there that could be bothersome to some people. This one, look how nice. Alright, so this next order is going to Diane in New York. Thank you so much for your orders, Diane. And we are combining two together. And Diane said that the bath bombs are the new addiction, so I love that. I'm so glad you are enjoying the bath bombs. We're going to put in scrubs first. So we have Cherry Hill and Honey Bear. We have Moonberry and Peonies and Peaches, which is so pretty. And then we have Cranberry Limeade. So we're going to put in a couple of soaps. We have Cherry Hill and Cranberry Limeade. Just tuck those down like so. Now the bath bombs, actually, don't love that. Let's see. I wanted to put the bath bombs, I think, down there. And let's see how that goes. We do still have those 3. I had already started at 11:86. I wonder if I just need to go back to it. Because, let's see. So I'll put these down in here. Only 2 are going to fit there. So I'll have to put one there. Oh yeah, we should be able to get that all in there. So I have been to town twice, actually. I don't know if I said that already or not. My brain is just a flutter. I don't know. I'm trying to keep everything together here. Anyway, so we went to town. We got the Jeep fixed, the tire. Of course, you don't just go to town when you live 35 minutes away. So went to Walmart and another grocery store, and that was a watermelon bath bomb. And went to the electric supplier place, and I don't know what all we did. Anyway, we got that all done. And I think I mentioned that I don't really drive anymore because it's just weird out there. And so my husband and my son, they normally drive. We're always together, except for when my husband travels, but I try not to go anywhere when my husband travels. I just don't want to be stuck in the wilds with these people. An accident or whatever. I just don't want to deal with it by myself. So I stay home. Anyway, I was not proven wrong. It was wild out there. We were following, my husband was driving ahead of me in the Jeep, and then I was in my Suburban, which that thing and I were like fits like a glove, like riding a bicycle. I love that Suburban. It's old though. It's old. So the music sitch in the Suburban is this. The radio, which there's really nothing that it picks up. Or usually my daughter plugs in a wire actually to her phone. But I was by myself. And so I'm like, wow, what am I going to do? What am I going to listen to? I couldn't go rummaging around while driving for a wire and try to do that. That would have been silly. So I'm like looking around, like, oh, we have CDs in here. And so I put in a CD. Who knows what was on it, because it was a burned CD from back in the days. I was listening to Eminem from like 13 years ago in my Suburban. That, I don't know, it just cracked me up. I'm like, that thing is old enough that I'm just sitting there listening to burned CDs from 12 years ago. That was goofy. Just in the Suburban. We haven't even bothered to take them out in all this time. But I pulled a flatbed trailer with a tractor on it all the way from Missouri. And I just really haven't driven but a handful of times since we got here. And I do love to drive. I quite enjoy it. But people are some sort of nutty. Some sort of nutty. We were following a car. I think I started to say this. So we were following a car from Washington, which half our population is Washington right now. We're going to put in Honey Bear, Cherry Hill, and a Huckleberry. I also put in a Moonberry bath bomb and a Peonies and Peaches bath bomb. I'm not even sure if I mentioned it because, again, a hint scatterbrain today. I don't know. I mean, technically they're going to go, but by the time I put their stuff around them. Anyway, so we were halfway to town. And this car was very erratic, you know, speed up, slow down. It wasn't that big of a deal, though. They were doing pretty much the speed limit. There's a part where we're starting to go up a hill and go into Kyla. You can just kind of divert onto this. I mean, it's just like an exit ramp almost, the road. You just divert. So they put on their blinker, and my husband's like, oh, I'm just going to pass because there was nobody coming. So he starts to pass. Meanwhile, this car is just like still slowing down. The blinker is still on. I mean, they're doing it. And so I pull out and I start to pass because, again, still nobody coming from the other direction. And they like pulled back in from turning and with their blinker still on, sped all the way up to over the speed limit. So I had to like back off and get behind them. And I was like, what? I was so confuzzled by that situation. So then I'm just sitting there following them. And they speed up, slow down. But I'm not a tailgate or anything, so I wasn't close to them. And so I followed them for probably another 10 miles or something like that. Maybe only like 5 miles. And all of a sudden, slammed on their brakes, put a blinker on, swerved over, didn't even get all the way off the road and stopped. And this is just classic actions on the highway. I'm just mind boggled by it. Mind boggled. Alright, well this isn't, like I said, it's not quite working out, but I don't think, no, I couldn't put, there's a jar there. Alright, I don't really need this shred on the bottom. Let's try without the shred underneath these bath bombs and see what happens. Oh, you know what? I could put these soaps somewhere else too. We're gonna make this work. It's gonna work. There's too much fluff in here overall. So, yeah, there's a reason why I don't really drive. People are crazy pants here. I mean, I'm used to driving in Kansas City. I've driven through Atlanta. I mean, I've driven, and people are weirder here. Even my husband comes home from Chicago, and, like, people are weirder here in our little podunk town than in the big city. They just wild. So I parked the Suburban. I probably won't drive again for a while. I have no need. I think I'm gonna try putting the soaps on the side. Well, no. Will the bath bomb fit? We're gonna make this work. It has to work. It's going to work. I could put the two soaps like that. There is a lot of racket, like engine sound, like a... There is nobody here, but it sounds like somebody is here. Okay. This might work. This might work a little bit better. I'm afraid this video is going to be very long after all of my dilly-daddling. Even though this is not working out much better than before. It's like so close. So close. It's gonna go. We're gonna make it happen. Would like to just set it down, but there's... Okay. Well, I don't want it bumping over here against this jar so much. What are you doing over here? I could just do that. I think I'll just do that, actually. I think that's just fine. So this can kind of scoots over away from the jars a little bit. And then there's still room for samples. Alright, let me think this through. Alright, I'm going to put in a honey bear sample and a peonies and peaches. I really do need to come up with a way of doing a sample for the people that buy a lot of bath bombs and a lot of scrubs. I just haven't come up with that. It's a labeling and packaging scenario, and with my soap I just naturally have all these samples when I cut them off the end. But when I'm doing bath bombs or scrubs, I have to make more products specifically to have samples of those, and I do sometimes. But it's just not a everyday thing. And then it says like the packaging, I don't really have good packaging for such small amounts. The scrub is a little bit easier than the bath bombs. But I just tend to send out the soap. So look at this pretty peachy paper. It's really, really pretty. And this order is off to New York. Alright, so this order is going to Melinda in Florida. Thank you so much for your order, Melinda. And I am just so thankful for my repeat customers. You all are so wonderful and supportive, and I feel so blessed. We're going to put in a peonies and peaches scrub in a country honeysuckle. We have a wisteria vines. Just a pale purple, but it's so pretty. I love that one. We have some sprays. I guess I'll go ahead and get those in. I'll tighten these up first. So we have the peonies and peaches and the honey bear. So these are all some new scents that I brought on with the room sprays, and moonberry and mountain huckleberry. I about said mountain honeysuckle. I got very confused on that one. Alright, I guess I'll put two together, I do believe. So we'll put the moonberry and the huckleberry together. Let's see if they actually fit. They usually fit in there, but with the extra little wrapping here. Let's see. This should work. Just a little tricky. Alright, you stay there. I can't. Okay. It does add a little extra bulk to it, but I should be able to still make it work. Yep. That's tight. I have the theme song for Private Eyes. It's stuck in my head. Even yesterday. Anytime I wasn't talking, that was playing in my head. That I think it's on Hallmark Plus now with Jason Priestley. I like the show. It's kind of something I watch when I'm out here more than I watch in the camper. As I say, in the house, but we don't really live in a house, so only for a bit longer, hopefully. This has been a long journey. And can you imagine if we were depending on plumbers and electricians with their work code out here? I'd never have a house. Actually, probably best that we're building it, even though we're going slow. Trying to think about what I'm going to do for the rest of today because it's only about lunchtime. I do have some more orders to pack. So I'll get that done so that these can all go together. But then what? Then what? I'm pretty sure I'll make soap tomorrow, but I'm not going to do that today. Alright, so we're going to put these in the bottom like so. So it worked really nicely. And I did with Ken's, I completely forgot to put the surface transport classification on it. So I had to refund that label. That's not the first time I've done that with this release. Alright, now we have room for the soap. So we're going to put in 2 of the peonies and peaches. These are just the most beautiful bars. Most beautiful. We have a glacier lily and then 2 on blacktail. The last time we were on blacktail, we were a little, more than a little irritated. We had started to go up a trail and past people just coming off of the trail. We were just going to check huckleberries, see where they were in their status of things. And few different vehicles came down, and one of them was just a complete crazy head. Went down to the bottom of the trail, and you know, this is national forest and stuff like that. He decided to start doing what do you call those, donuts, round and round and round, tearing up the road. Dust was everywhere, preventing people from coming out. So we had just turned around. All we wanted to do was go up the trail just a little bit to see. And these are just off-road trails, but it's still, you know, it's still national forest and stuff. You're not supposed to be tearing it up. And we're putting in a lavender and a crema cacao. And so we were pretty disappointed in that scenario. He blocked us from coming out, and so we started to come out, and we had to wait for the dust to dissipate because we couldn't even see what was happening. And then he decided to do it again when he saw that we were coming out. And so now we're just like, you know what? Ruining all the fun, dude. I'm going to put in a Cherry Hill and a Honey Bear. They're going to ruin it for everybody else that do want to spend time up in the mountains and take care of it and do the right thing. They're going to make it so they just cut us all off. A lot of the land here is owned by Flathead Ridge Ranch, and there's some people, I think they're out of Texas actually, but he's like a very, very wealthy person that has bought up a lot of the land and then gives access for you to use it recreationally, but they've said that they might have to start closing it off because people are not treating the land appropriately. I'm going to put in the packing slip and my business card. And then this one is off to Florida. On the side note, the HVAC guy is still not here. So many eye rolls. Alright, so this last one is going to Tawny in Pennsylvania. Thank you so much for your order, Tawny. And we have a couple of room sprays. So we're going to get those all ready to go here. I guess we'll do the double again. And we'll just see how that goes. So we're going, I guess I just completely packaged them up, but it was poppies and peaches and pink grapefruit. And then we're going to put in a coconut, mango coconut peach. Haven't packed too many of those this time, so I had to remember what its name was. Alright, might as well put a little shred underneath there, because we have plenty of room. Now, Tawny does not use bar soaps in particular, so I'm going to send along a couple of samples, wax melt samples. So we're going to put in the pear mascarpone, and the peonies and peaches to try. And then this one is off to Pennsylvania. It was a pretty simple one to put together. I hope that you have enjoyed this pack and chat video. I fear it's going to be very long. It should be quite the interesting edit. I have a few more orders to pack and then I'll be all caught up. I have so much stock. I hope that you'll check out the website and see if there's anything that you would like. I'd love to send you a package as well. Be sure to check out the video description for social media links, link to our website, all the fun things. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Bye. Alright, so I remembered that someone asked for a tour around the property, so I thought, why not do that since we're not going to go into the cabin? So I'm on the porch of the studio, and there's my little Chunky, and he's so cute. He's so cute. And then there's Ripley the Doberman. And I have a newish sunflower out here. Isn't it so pretty? I guess that one is kind of closed up. Beep beep. Can I do beep beep? Look at it. It's so pretty. I know. Who am I talking to? Right? Who am I talking to? You're so cute. We just came back from town, so he's very much wants to be with me. And I planted a little lavender right here, but unfortunately the squirrels do like to dig in these, so I added some rocks. I have a shepherd's hook with nothing on it. I have been just kind of way behind on the whole planting thing. I don't have a green thumb, and it is so hard to operate with plants up here at this elevation. We're not that high up. We're 4,000 feet, but the problem is that we can go down, like we've been getting down to nearly freezing every night, even though it'll be 90 during the day. So you have to know your stuff up here. That's the thing. You have to know your stuff. So we poured a little concrete slab for a wood shed eventually, but I use it as my sitting spot. So if I say I'm knitting, this is where I'm going to sit. Hi, bud. So this is me and my little knitting spot. My son built a little fire pit, but it is full of little pieces that need to be burned, and we have some logs drying, and you know, we're in the process of building still, so we do not have a lot of coherence and landscaping here right now. So that's the thing. Shelby, did you want to come and say hello? Come here. Come here. Shelby's our old dog. She's like 11, 12. I never can remember. Hi, Shelby. So very old. Yes, you're getting old. This is my old Suburban that I was telling you about. It still looks nice. It only has 75,000 miles on it, but it's old. So back here behind the camper, we still have, see, we have just like electrical and propane, and it's a thing. We have my little greenhouse, and this is what I was using before, this tunnel, but it kind of collapsed and we're gonna take it apart, but right now it's just been storing some stuff, and so I said, hey, maybe I could just have a cutesy little greenhouse. So this is my second round of tomatoes because I've already killed my first one. So we have a tomato there. Those ones aren't doing too great, but they are coming around, and I just transplanted this cilantro, and we have some mint, some chives, but boy, I tell you what, I'm gonna really have to know what I'm doing to plant up here. I think I'm gonna have a legit greenhouse with temperature control and everything. So here we have some cherries. We planted these pretty early on. I can't see the screen, so I can't see if you're seeing them. So these will probably end up being moved. I don't even think about these. I don't water them. I really don't pay attention to them. Always wants to go in the house. All right, so I'm on the porch of the cabin. So we live in a Grand Design Solitude. It's a bunkhouse, and it's been quite delightful. That box holds dog food. It's our bear box. You have to have metal boxes to keep the bears out up here. But it's been a really nice camper. It has some remainders of tape. We'll have to really clean it up when we're done. We keep having to put our winterization on. We've done that now for 3 winters. We've been in it since October of 22. Never planned on that. Did not plan on that at all. My husband's pretty much done all the work because the HVAC guy still hasn't been back. We're a whole nother day later since I was packing orders, and he came out for 3 hours. 1 hour on Monday morning, and then 2 hours later on Monday afternoon, and that's been it. It's now Thursday afternoon, so whatever, my husband will just do it. That's all it comes down to. So we're going to have a nice little porch here, and the HVAC guy ordered a slab even though my husband told him we did not need one. I guess the wind's gonna pick up. Pretty typical situation. Just walking around the cabin for right now. So we had like a whole drainage, we've got a whole drainage thing going on around the base of the cabin, and then it drains all the way out there. So we have a burn pile. There's not a lot we can do with that until we can burn again. That'll be this winter. And I mean, you can tell where the septic field is, you know. That's how it goes. This beautiful cabin that will be fun to live in someday. Those windows, that scared me about half to death, but we got it done. My husband and I mean, come on now, we've built a cabin. So if you asked me, would you do this chaos again? I would. I would do it to achieve my dreams. It has been cozy and comfortable. It's a bunkhouse, so it has 2 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms. And you know what? Like I've said 100 times, it's not easy, but it's also not hard. All right, let me go get my shoes on and my bear keeper away stuff, and we'll walk around the property. Alright, so I'm walking down the driveway, and we have 9 acres. We're in northwest Montana. We're southwest of Kalispell, west of Marion, Montana. And our little slice of paradise. My husband has been clearing trees when he has time and building slash piles. We have a lot of dead up here, and so I've been cleaning out as he's able, has little time. So we'll have to work on burning that this winter, but we'll wait till there's lots of snow around it. So we have this little it's like an old logging road. So I thought we'd go this way. Seeing a bunch of little purple flowers out there. They're so pretty. We're fairly close to the highway, so we do get a lot of highway noise. With random piles of rocks. Come in quite handy. Oh wow, he needs to haul this tree out there. So the neighbor that is helping us build the cabin, he put a trail all the way around his property, but bordered on ours, so we have this little walking path. Look what I found. So he just brings his excavator right into our property from the backside. There's the soap shed, clear back there. Alright, so here's our property line here on this corner. So that's looking a little thick right through there. Here's our mahusive larch. And there's the soap shed. We haven't, guess we didn't finish the painting on that side. We're always working on the most urgent of everything. Alright, I see there's a pink flag there, so that's the back side here. Wow, this old tree is a little bit gnarly. Huh. I don't even remember that being here. Alright, go watch for the flags. Where are the flags? Oh, that's our gate, so I'm over a ways. Whew, my hand is tired. Hold on. So I definitely went into our property a ways instead of being on the line. Maybe that's why I couldn't find any pink flags. It's a wee bit treacherous right here. I'm a short stack, so I'm going to find myself a different direction. Alright, let's go to the road and orient myself. Alright, so I really veered off course. That's our property marker right there. So our property goes down to that larch right there that's at an angle. Alright, so that's where I'd come out. So I had veered significantly off course. So as it turns out, it doesn't actually take that long to walk around 9 acres. So I'm back to it. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. I think it's been a fun one, a little bit more casual, probably super long. So I hope you've enjoyed something wonderful. You've worked on a project, you've hung out with me, and we've just had a wonderful time. Tell me if you did. I'll catch you on the next video. Bye. I did not get ate by a bear.